million people. I mean, how is all, I mean, folks, this is all I do is research this, and I'm telling you, there's a curveball in here. Something is going on. There's more than meets the eye to this, and we've got to remember the globalists are ready to do anything. Dr. Deagle, on the issue of mass graves.
Yeah, in June of 2003, the U.S. government and Department of Homeland Security received 6 million body bags. And these were not to be shipped to Iraq or Afghanistan. That was just the first shipment. They've been receiving shipments literally every couple of months in that order of magnitude, including these coffins that can put more than one body in. I have the documents and reports that they actually were planning on figuring where they could put the bodies, like in old coal or tin mines below the water line so it wouldn't affect the ground table, so they could literally drop the bodies in because they don't have the facilities to burn them all. So they want to stick them in body bags and put them below the water table.
By the way, I have the Rocky Mountain News here. This is all admitted. Under what the CDC's announced, this Homeland Security emergency, that's all in the executive orders. This is not our opinion, but Glenn Beck will get up and say it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it ridiculous? And the fact is that we're not, by the way, this is a new term I'd like to use, Alex, and I'm sure that you'll like it. We're no longer conspiracy theorists. We're agenda analysts. We're now agenda analysts. We're just, as I tell people, don't believe, just read. And then your movies, by the way, are the best. The Endgame and, Global Enslavement. These movies explain and just show you the cold, hard facts. Whether people want to believe, they can go back to the documents themselves and say, my gosh, we're not exaggerating.
There's a bibliography for the Obama deception at the obamadeception.net. Everything in there is documented. There's a bibliography for Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. This is not our opinion. And when people try to debunk my films, they do straw men. They say, oh, his film shows Bush's people and shows Kashkari, and Alex is saying that guy works for Obama. No, we don't. We show that both groups work together and that it's bipartisan, and they try to spin that. I mean, they can't debunk anything. Are they happy? I remember, this one guy would call in who works at a car dealership from West Virginia 2-3 years ago and tell me I was a liar. The economy wasn't going to implode. The bankers weren't going to make a bank of the world. GM wasn't going to be in trouble. And now look at what's happening. I mean, what does it take, folks, for you to realize we know what we're talking about? Anything else that you need to add there, Chris, in Wisconsin?
No, just that they ordered these trucks in December and they got to have them delivered by next month.
All right, wow. Yeah, it's all coming. Well, they got this huge FEMA drill for a nationwide takeover coming up in a week, and then they have.
Yeah. By the way, that takeover drill is on May 1 and 2. May 1 is Beltane, which is a satanic holy day.
You can't make it up. These people are crazy. Let's go ahead and talk to Tony in Arkansas. Tony just hung up as I said that. Mark in Indiana. Go ahead, Mark.
Alex.
Yes.
How you doing? I don't know if you remember me. I called back in October. With the Obama confrontation, and then I got on live TV confronting Charlie Gibson. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, what I did this past Saturday is, the OAF, that's the Organizing for America, right? It's based out of the White House. It's just,
the private thug group with billions of dollars publicly to go out and enforce things for them.
Right. Well, I went there this Saturday to one of those meetings posing as wanting to be a community organizer, right? But what I did was, I raised my hand. There's probably about 75, 80 people there. So what I did is I raised my hand. I said, I prepared a half-page speech on community organization. Would you mind if I read this? So I went up there, and I got in front of all these people, right? And the first half of the speech is just, after 8 years of war and economic hardship, blah, blah, blah. As community organizers, we need to make sure that our country goes in the right direction, And right then was when I just said, Obama has proposed a 1 million-person national security force, talked about, Rahm Emanuel and the 1825 Universal Service, and just these people's faces were just like jaw-dropped. They had never heard of the proposal.
And because you opened it up by attacking Bush, you ended the left-right membrane of control, and they were absolutely defenseless to the truth.
Right. That's exactly what I did. I presented it as, just imagine if Bush proposed this. People would burn the city to the ground.
And if you approach it like that, you can break their programming That's what the Obama deception does. What did you do from that point on?
Well, I read my speech, and then after that I elaborated. I said, Obama's calling for a world order. Bush, baby Bush, Papa Bush, Bill Clinton, all of them were calling for a new world order. Tony Blair, I was naming all these people that have been calling for the new world order. And seriously, these people's faces, I could tell that, they could tell I was speaking from the heart. They could tell that this was factual, and I really hope that they went and researched this.
You're very, very confident, and you're focused, and you've got the forces with you, as they say. You got the spirit, and that's what it takes to get the job done. I'm surprised they didn't have a troll there. That one of the minion organizers, did they try to shut you down at that point?
They cut my mic, but I pretty much got through my whole speech. But as I was elaborating, they cut my mic. But I kept talking. I said, please Google Obama's draft. Google the Obama deception. It details how he is a front man for Finance Capital, a salesman there to sell an agenda that Bush or McCain could never sell to the public. He's groomed and groomed by the financial and intellectual elite, and placed there to sell the agenda, like that.
And listen, their whole agenda was failing. If they don't start a war, if they don't stage a bio attack, that's how they get us to, even though we're in hardship, rally around the government, quote, come together under them. They need crises, and that is certainly, whether it's hyped or real, that's what this lab-made designer flu is all about. I salute you. Good job. Dr. Deagle, again, I go back to that point. I didn't say a year ago they were going to release bird flu. I've been saying it the last 2 months. I said some type of flu. I see them preparing. I see that being set up. I see all these drills, the same pattern I saw before 9/11. I said, get ready, brace for it. I believe they're about to play the bio card. And again, it's not that I'm even that smart. It's that I constantly study this. And
you're obsessed. That's why you know it. You read. You actually apply your. The reason is I like Alan Sting's article a month and a half ago. He said people that win because they're 100% committed or 110%. You win a war not because you have better weapons, because you have more committed people. It's like Gideon's army. He didn't want the one that would lap up the water like a dog. They had their eyes above the water, and they're bringing the water to their mouth because they weren't even putting their head down to look into the water to get more water in their mouth. If you aren't 100% committed, realize what's on the table, people. It's not just your death. It's not just the death of your kids. It's the death of mankind completely. This is the end game, as your movie says. We're now in the final run-up to a new world order that's literally planning on demising and killing 90% plus of the world population.
That's right. Their official numbers are 80, but when you look at the new scientists graduating, they actually openly ridicule the old 80%ers and say, no, we've got to kill everyone. Yeah. We've got to kill ourselves. I mean, it's totally nihilistic. They're out of their minds, and then you see their white papers and their graduate papers from years ago. You Google their name, and it's them at bioweapons labs in white coats. I mean,
all the medical schools, all the universities, they're all teaching the same garbage. It's not just Dr. Pianka. It's everywhere.
Let me ask you, when you went to medical school, were they teaching this? Because my dad at UT,
sure they were.
Yeah, they were teaching him, we got to kill everybody.
Oh, yeah. I was one of the charter members of Greenpeace, and I got real angry back in the 70s because I was doing oceanography and bacteriology before I went into medicine. And I got real mad when they started playing these games with seal pups and doing other garbage, and it was all. And they hijacked it, and completely took it over. The Rothschilds and the globalists took over the environmental movement. It's now run by idiots like Mr. I call him Igor. Al Gore is a liar. This guy with his carbon dioxide in the new world currency, I call it the carbon debt units. It's an anti-life currency, where the world currency that's coming, that they've actually agreed upon, is a anti-life currency based on debt against carbon. That means us, carbon dioxide. It is literally opening the bottomless pit.
Yeah, we are carbon-based life forms.
Yeah, this evil is so palpable. And then I have people who want to argue. I said, look, people may not like my personality, your personality. We're just committed. We're like a wild. We're like the army there of William Wallace, and I've got relatives that are the blood of William Wallace flows in my veins. Let's put it that way. And I'm not going to back off. I know we don't have we have to realize just what's on the table here. This is the final deal, and whether it's this wave or this fall or next year, they're coming. They're coming
Absolutely.
now.
And,
they're coming.
This bioweapon attack is the tip of the spear for the New World Order, and so is Obama, their closer. NutriMedicalReport.com, NutriMedical.com. Dr. Deagle, we'll talk to you again later in the week. Thank you so much. More of your calls straight ahead, and then we're going to have Dr. Rebecca Carley on with us as well. Thank you, Dr. Deagle, for all your insightful information. We'll be right back. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Of the 3 million plus edible food plants that grow on Earth, no other single plant can compare with the nutritional value of the powder, seeds, and oil of the hemp plant. At hempusa.org, we ship worldwide these nutritional products with free shipping to the U.S. and Canada. At hempusa.org, we want to educate our listeners that edible hemp is not marijuana and is certified THC-free. Our powder is 50% protein and does not contain